I'll mute your mic.
Okay, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Idle and Chat, episode 1, with me, a host person, Cyber Viking. Call me Matt, Sergeant. I don't care.
Or Messiah.
Messiah, please. Oh. Anyway.
I mean, I call you Dad. That's pretty weird.
Oh,
but I mean...
ooh, son.
This is the worst intro I've ever heard in my entire life.
Restart. We're gonna have to restart the whole thing.
No.
That was
We
so
started
awkward.
this. We are continuing. We are
That was
continuing.
so awkward. Your intro was so awkward.
Let's go
Hey,
with
man.
it.
This is sometimes it's how it's gonna be.
I mean,
Oh, hello,
hell,
everyone. How are we all doing today?
We're doing great.
We're
Okay.
pretty good.
There you go.
Fantastic.
What she
Alright.
said.
Why?
Anyways.
Sorry, Am didn't join today. We can't say that.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's
Right.
Hopefully
Yeah,
we're gonna
okay,
end the next
so
one.
this is podcast episode 1. Welcome. This is going to be extremely cringy, weird, and we have no idea what we're doing already. But we
Possibly
might as-
offensive, but we'll get to that
Yeah,
later.
probably offensive. Let's be
We'll
real here.
cross that bridge if we get to it.
Hey,
And then burn
Burn
it.
that bridge when we get to it. Yeah.
there. So yeah.
Shall we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Alright. I am Levi. You may also know me as the Bunker Snail. I have no interests or hobbies, and I'm uninteresting in every way, shape, and form.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the way
that's
we
right.
like it.
Solid.
He's also the moron that we kill and insult every time we play games.
Yeah, that's also right.
Hi!
Okay, I guess I'll go next. So, I am Will. You might know me as Blue Eagle as well. Like Levi, I have no interests or hobbies, but unlike Levi, I am dead inside.
Wow.
Good to
Okay.
meet you.
Yeah. Hi. Good.
We're starting off real dark today, I guess.
The only way to start off.
It is the first episode.
Matt, why don't you
Yeah, it's a
introduce
learning curve.
yourself?
Yeah, I'm Matt. I'm the better Matt. So he's other Matt, even though he owns the channel. I'm also Keen Hickory. Might change the name to Uncomfortable Confusion later on. Still undecided. But that's a different story.
Yeah, how did you come up with Keen Hickory?
It was Xbox generated, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, it was back in the 360 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all terribly unoriginal.
Yeah. Well,
Man,
Matt.
looks like we
well,
all got into this.
Matt
Oh,
was
wait.
actually a tree.
I came up with my username, actually, but my original one was Generic Maple.
Speaking of usernames, hi,
I
my name
forgot.
is Jacob. Ow.
Well, he's using his first name, guys. Hold on, we gotta pause. He's
I forgot
using
about
his- This is real.
Oh, is
This is
it
real.
Jacob
Sorry, you guys don't follow
Stefano? Sweet. Alright.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Jacob, otherwise known as King Stefano, but people usually either call me King or Stefano because one is my actual name is quite boring, and the other is quite a mouthful and people don't like saying mouthfuls.
Okay, first
So, yeah.
off, no one calls you king. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Everyone
nobody-
calls you
yeah,
Stefano.
nobody
My
calls you
other
that.
people
No
do.
one calls you king,
No.
my guy.
I haven't heard a
People-
single person call you King. It's either Jacob or Stefano.
It's usually
Um,
Stefano.
It's usually
Or if it's
Stefano.
me, it's Stefani, so.
Oh.
Okay,
Stefano.
care for us.
I call him my son.
I call him son. My boy.
He calls me dad.
Okay.
Anyway, this
So
is
you're
how
all
you go
Dad.
probably
today.
wondering
Dad.
why I gathered you here
You gotta make
today.
it weird.
Alrighty.
I
So-
thought there was supposed to be 6 of us.
Yeah, well,
Am
Am
didn't
isn't
join.
here because. So okay, so we were supposed to have a 6th person, Am, but she randomly disappeared, or Matt killed her to take her place.
I think Matt
Hey.
killed her.
You didn't put me on the list when you were saying who was gonna be here, so and you said you'd rather have 5, so I just had to top one.
And I mean, look at how much trouble we're having with just 5 of us here as well.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
we should kick Stefano.
You know, I think we should get rid of Will. I mean, he's the one that's echoing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm muting myself.
And we could get rid of Keen Hickory. He is the one being a bit obnoxious.
You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna get rid of myself.
Alright,
Okay,
anyway,
guys,
anyway,
yeah.
He's
to
the root of
to
all
the
these people.
objective of this so-called podcast,
The objective
which
of this
is going to be
podcast.
a cluster crap.
There is no objective of this podcast. It's literally to talk about random shit and just who gives
You
a
literally
crap.
said 5 minutes ago before starting the mic on that we were going to talk about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
That's the random shit today.
Yeah, that's random shit.
I think.
Get your head out of the
Okay,
gutter,
for
man.
this.
I mean, thanks for the
Get
intro,
with the
Matt.
system. And in this case, it's a cyberpunk system.
Yay! We're talking about
So
Cyberpunk.
Matt, since Cyberpunk's supposed to be your favorite game coming out, how do you feel about this recent pushback?
What about them delaying the game?
Of course.
They delayed
To-
again?
No.
It's now
no.
November 19th.
November 19th. I've
Oh,
already
okay.
What? I didn't know that.
I told everyone here that they delayed it.
It's because
by
you were
2
crying
months.
about it.
Okay, yeah, no, no,
I,
no.
I cried
I heard
in
they
the
delayed it till
corner.
October 9th or something.
No. Like, okay, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is being released November 17th. And Cyberpunk comes out November 19th. They're getting fucked. Assassin's Creed is gonna get fucked up.
I'm convinced that the only saving grace they have at this point is gonna be Watch Dogs Legion because that's actually
but that comes out in
got us-
October. So they have
I mean,
a good
yeah,
window.
but it's got a lot of hype for it.
Exactly. It has good enough hype. It has its own window. You know, I mean, although wait, when's Squadrons coming out?
Squadrons comes out October something. I think October 9th. I would have to check that though. Hold on.
That may be a problem for.
Squadrons
Watch
comes
Dogs
out
Legion.
October 2nd.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay, no,
October
that's not too
2nd.
bad. Because
The
Watch
thing
Dogs
about
comes out
Squadrons is
later
they
in
haven't
October.
really shown any gameplay, so I don't know how to feel about it. And if they have, I just haven't seen it.
Oh, and here's another thing. Next Thursday, Halo Infinite is gonna be shown.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
I am excited. I can't wait for Cyberpunk. I can't wait for Halo. Like we might as well all just start our Gregorian chanting right now.
My word.
I'd really rather not.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Watch
might,
Dogs-
just
I was
because
in
it
band and not choir.
According to Google, Watch Dogs only says initial release date 2020. Doesn't have a month.
They're coming out with another Watch Dogs?
Yeah, Watch
Watch
Dogs
Dogs
Legion.
Legions.
Legion.
Hmm.
Have you not
Where
heard
you
about
can
this?
become
it's pretty big.
grandmas and tase people.
Yeah.
What if I
That's
want to
a
become
really-
a grandma and just
I want to
knit?
kind of go into that before we get into
Probably.
the cyberpunk, because I've been wanting to talk about Watch Dogs Legion for a while. But the fact that they're going with no direct main characters, at least none so far, pretty ambitious.
Well,
the only
like-
other game that I can think of that does that is GTA Online, but GTA Online is ugh.
Yeah, well, like in Cyberpunk, you are your own character. It's just that your alias, your name, your alias
Oh,
is V.
fair.
That. So yeah, you are still Stefano, but people just call you V. That's just you just somehow gain the nickname or whatever, and so people call you V, and you just decide to roll with it, I guess. But the customization in Cyberpunk, it looks amazing. I mean, you can customize your titties. Come on, guys.
I mean, customize.
He's big into his titties, guys. It's okay.
Oh, yes.
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 I mean, who is?
I mean, this
let's be
game
honest
is
here.
getting in depth. I mean,
He wants to
but-
have one blue one and one green one.
You can have one big one small one. Odds even.
Weren't you telling me about some taser titties the other day?
Yes, I was.
Is that a real thing?
Apparently, I think so. Someone was talking about it. Someone was talking about how there was going to be a cybernetic where you can have taser tits.
I don't think
I
that's
don't
real.
know if I want my
No,
name
but
on
at the
this
same
podcast
time, it
It
is
fits in
anymore.
its universe. It fits in its universe, so I don't know if it's real or not.
That's a superhero name, Taser Tits.
How practical is
No,
that?
it's
though?
Taser Face, wasn't it? And Guardians of the Galaxy's Taser
Yeah, it was
Face.
taser
Taser
face.
Tits.
Taser face.
He went from taser face to taser tits.
No, he didn't. He did something else. What did he do? He said Taser.
He died.
Can't remember now.
Yeah, he died.
Spoiler
Tits.
alert.
He got blown up.
His last
definitely
words
died.
were literally, tell them that
Taser
Taser
face.
Face sent you, and then he
And
died.
then whatever species he was telling that to laughed at him
the
and then
chick.
shut off the channel.
Yeah, she just starts fucking losing it and laughing her ass off, and then he blows up.
I am Taserface. What? Taserface. Anyway, but
The thing about, I mean, how practical would taser nipples be though?
I mean, I think.
I would
think it's
assume they're
going
only
to
for
be-
people trying to steal after seducing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's more along the whole rape.
Yeah, I don't see
In-
them
in
being
the
used
game
any other
anyway.
way. Just imagine
But-
going out in public and just popping your top and then immediately tasting somebody.
Well, obviously that
There was
wouldn't
a
be your
mass top of
primary
taser.
go-to asset.
Well, I mean, we have to.
If it was,
Alright.
though.
So
Just
we
hold on.
have to-
Just
oh my
imagine
God.
somebody.
And-
I don't know if I want my name on this podcast anymore.
Anyway,
We gotta
anyway.
clean. We gotta
just
clean it up
imagine-
for our friend Levi here.
Just imagine you go up to some girl and ask her for her number, and she immediately pulls up her shirt and just yells "Taser Tits," and then you get tased.
It's voice
man.
activated.
Self-defense.
Go catch your taser tits.
Well, okay. So let's get a bit more real here with the universe. I mean, we're talking about a dark, dystopian, cyberpunk world. There's lots
That's
of
true.
crime and
It takes
whatnot.
place in like a really crime-ridden city.
Exactly. So it could be like, okay, someone's trying to rape you and whatnot, and then you have these taser tits. You have this unknown factor inside of your body.
I mean, dude, it was like I got tased, but I mean, I got to see your tits. So silver
Yeah.
lining.
She flashed me, but then I saw a flash.
Oh, sheesh.
It was
Alright,
a really
let's-
shocking experience.
Let's
Bad
clean
joke, I'm
this up
sorry.
a little bit with
All right. So
what
okay,
we're
so-
talking about.
So moving on. Moving on.
That awkward moment where we spend good 7 minutes
Yeah,
talking
we
about
have
nothing
to
but
move
tits.
on from taser tits. Alright, but
Right.
okay.
So,
go ahead.
yeah. Well, not yesterday. Last week, I was talking to you, Sergeant.
Yeah.
And we sort of got onto the topic of AI and like what it means to become human. Like at what
like
point
what-
does the line between cybernetic enhancement and being a human being sort of end?
Taser
Yeah.
Tits.
It ends at okay.
It ends at cybernetically enhanced titties.
I feel
Yeah,
like on a
that's where
serious
we
note,
draw the
I feel
line.
like it would. I feel like it would depend on anything that has to do with your intellectual decision making, because ultimately your decisions make who you are. So I would
Right,
assume
But
if
a
anything
machine can
affects
also
your
make
decision making.
intellectual decision making.
But it's altered through
true.
an algorithm.
That is true. So it goes through both ways. It can make an intellectual decision making, but it also does, it goes through an algorithm. Like YouTube. Although that's not really intellectual decision making. That's just blind firing.
I mean,
into
there's
a
nothing.
crowd.
There's nothing intelligent about them anymore, or intellectual. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still keep getting Fortnite videos, even though I've constantly said don't show me these videos.
I've blacklisted I don't remember how, but I remember blacklisting the term Fortnite just so I wouldn't get it in my home bar. Like anything that was in Fortnite, I immediately delete.
I need to figure out how to do that.
Anyway, but
I'm
yeah,
not
so
even entirely sure how I did it, but
yeah, so
no.
so games that we're mentioning about this whole AI, you know, whether can machines be human type of deal is of course Cyberpunk, because that's kind of where it all comes from, specifically from the movie Blade Runner, but also games like Fallout 4. Like, okay, who here has played Fallout 4, right?
Me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about cybernetic enhancements. I would more likely think synths
Are you talking
more
about
up
the
that alley.
suit?
The what?
What?
Yeah, no.
The
So when it
power
comes to
armor.
Fallout 4, we have synths, and the synths oftentimes are trying to break away from the Institute to become human. And
Well,
they're really
here's the thing. Sorry to break you off, but since they're people who have been altered to think that they are human, so I don't know if that counts.
right. It's such a like a crazy place to go. But my problem with Fallout 4 is they didn't expand enough on this. They made it a thing, but it was like, oh, but it's not the main thing. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
understandably you're trying to find your son type of deal, but that you have this great plot to where you have an entire species and their very existence hangs in the balance off of your decision.
And
And
that sounds like Metro, but go on.
yeah, so it would, and there's multiple moments that the game tries to ask, that Fallout 4 tries to ask you, are synths human? Are they people? But it's so poorly executed. And it just makes you hate them even more, especially when it comes to the railroad. Who here actually has sided with the railroad?
I thought about it, but honestly,
I didn't even know the rep was joinable until like my 5th playthrough.
I didn't even
Yeah.
finish the game.
So obviously.
Yeah, I
he's
played
negated
about
out
an
of the
hour
question.
and a half of it and was like, yeah, I'm getting bored 'cause I'm not playing
I
with people.
played through the game. I played through the game twice. I sided with the Minutemen on the first playthrough because hell yeah, Minutemen.
Yeah.
So
You don't
Another
fuck
Sullivan
with my
needs
boy
your help.
Preston. Yeah, exactly. And I think my second playthrough, I sided with the Brotherhood of Steel, maybe, even though I severely hate them. But I mean, I get a lot of power armor from that, and I can sell it off every
I'm
time.
gonna give the Brotherhood some leeway because they are a very popular faction. It makes sense why people would gravitate towards them. But the Railroad, they're not bad. They're just flawed.
They're not bad at all. They're just string synths.
Because obviously they are they do think, but I guess since they
Yeah. So
they don't
so
they lack
let me-
certain things that count towards being a human being. Like there were certain rules towards it.
Yeah.
like,
So let me put in context of what the Railroad is, for others. But so the Railroad is a faction in the game Fallout 4, which is all about freeing synths, synthetic people, machines, from the Institute. And the general problem of the Railroad is their attitude towards not only you, but towards other NPCs in the Commonwealth. Because they tell you straight up when joining them, if you believe that synths are people, then you are with us. If you don't, then you are against us. And that right there is the key problem to the Railroad, because the Railroad, the whole idea of synths being people, it's not a black and white problem, it's gray. Because you can go, synths are biologically not people, but do I think they can achieve some sort of empathetic personality? Yes. It is such a weird area to be in. But to have the Railroad simply go, you're either with us or against us, it makes you want to hate them, especially when
Yeah.
you talk to them more, and you have the leader of the railroad saying, "Oh, all those people on the surface, all of the normies and the civilians in the cities, in the ruined cities and whatnot, they don't understand about synths. They hate them. They're a bunch of bigots," and that just makes you hate them even more.
I mean, they did the Institute. The spoiler alert: the Institute is a group, a faction in Fallout 4 that makes sense to kind of interact with the people of the Wasteland, just to try and get a feel for them and how they are going as a people. The Institute is completely locked away from them. They are in their futuristic hidey hole, just adding to science.
Right, and
basically.
there were stories, there is lore stories to where the Institute tried to branch off. They tried to make contact, and they tried to piece together this Commonwealth Provisional Government, essentially. It was supposed to be like the NCR of the Commonwealth. But a
yeah.
synth went rogue and started killing people, so then the Institute was pretty much forced into hiding. So, yeah.
Right. But going back to the whole synths themselves idea, the synths as an idea are really interesting because it creates an enemy in the game. I mean, in general terms, in video games, whenever they put an enemy in front of you, it generally is just accepted that they have no personality, no ideals, or whatever, and you can just kill them without a second thought, even when it's human beings. And when Fallout 4 puts synths in front of you, it cements the idea that it's okay to kill these guys. There's no problem with whatsoever because they're just robots. And then when you are introduced to the idea that they might have intelligent life, it does kind of make you think back to all the times you killed a synth, and you might think to yourself, well, maybe that wasn't the right choice. But yeah, then you're also right earlier when you said that they were just sort of mishandled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that the
definitely
synths just
feel
were not.
mishandled.
Yeah, they were never put in a spotlight that actually made you question your morals in killing them. And so, yeah, it was sort of a missed opportunity because you could have had like this big, like, moral qualm with like, I just basically killed people that were forced to fight against their will because they're somewhat programmed. But at that point, also, I argue if they're programmed, they're not really people. And
I mean,
sort of
if you
devolve
want to go
into
that
that
route,
conversation
people
again.
are programmed in their own way too. It's just they have this, let's call it a side program where they can question their decision making, while others sometimes can't.
Yeah.
You mean like
I mean,
Like,
conscience?
who are
yeah,
we but
conscience.
just biological computers?
Well,
Last time I checked, I bleed when I get hurt.
Yeah.
Well, you
There is
hit
that.
the scene, it
Biological
shuts
computers.
down.
Your
You
brain
break
is a
it, it
computer.
shuts down.
But yeah, my brain can also bleed. A robot cannot bleed. Unless you count oil as
Oh.
blood, which is not blood.
So,
Plants don't have
but here's
blood, but they're
here's the
considered
major
human.
difference.
Not human,
is that
but they're considered living beings.
Wait, what is it?
Plants, they're considered living beings, but they don't bleed.
They bleed that green plasma stuff or whatever it is.
sap.
And
But
Yeah,
Mm.
trees bleed syrup.
only if you're in Canada.
Matt, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, the difference between, like, the big difference between robot and human minds is that in order for a robot to even boot up, you have to first program it, right? Versus a human, it learns as it develops from birth. So a robot already has this pre-existing knowledge and programming of how to move, how to function, how to think. Versus a human, they have to learn all that. That's why you have a baby that first learns to crawl, walk, run, climb,
I mean,
such things as that.
there are also AI that are built from the ground up, not knowing what to do.
But they're also
granted, they don't-
pre-programmed by humans in order to learn those attributes.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Again, it's one of those gray areas because Matt's right because there are AI out there that did learn they gave them a program to where it's like a stick figure, and it learns to walk and then eventually run and then jump, and it goes on pretty quick. But again, it had to be pre-programmed to go for those commands and then to learn.
Well, every living thing that has ever lived ever has been also pre-programmed to have an innate fear of dying. So how is that any different? With your fear of dying, then you have to learn how to avoid dying.
I think we all don't know. We all don't have fear of death until we know what death is.
Correct.
But we do.
True.
But we do know what fear is before anything else.
So there's actually a good movie that goes along with this conversation. It's on Netflix, I believe. It's called Extinction. And haven't you guys seen it before I explain it?
No,
I don't believe so.
Don't explain it.
Okay, so
It's a Netflix movie.
So, well, it's good, I think. So, in this movie, you have these, there's going to be spoilers in here because there's no other way for me to explain it. So, in this movie, you have these people who get tired of just doing these meaningless tasks like janitors, changing light bulbs, fixing stuff, being car mechanics, all of this stuff. So they create these synthetic robots which look exactly like humans and they bleed like humans do, but they don't have... They're half human, half robot, so they're not totally human, but they're not totally robot. They don't have a heart, they have a central computer. And eventually, these synths get tired of being slaves to the full-blood humans, and they revolt and kick the humans off of the planet. And humans go to, I don't know, Mars maybe. Well, these synths have their minds erased, and they think that they're just regular humans. Well, a few of these synths have these dreams and visions of stuff of what happened in the past with the war against the humans and kicking the humans off of the planet, and they start to think that the humans are going to come back and finish them off. Sure enough, the humans do, but they think that the humans are aliens because they have these weird suits. The humans don't know if they're able to still breathe the Earth's atmosphere because they've been gone for 50, 60 years or something like that. And
Dang robots fucking up our atmosphere.
Damn robots stealing all our jobs.
Damn dirty synths.
it's a synthetic atmosphere as well. But so one of the humans gets his butt kicked by one of the synth robot dudes and realizes, oh hey, these guys aren't so bad at all. And then I don't know what happens to him. I think he gets killed by his ally humans because he's a sympathizer. But it's a pretty good movie. There's a lot of violence in it. That's why I watch it. I like
I would
violence.
expect so if it's something called Extinction.
I like violence.
That honestly sounds a lot like a really old show that I watched with my father called Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
With the
newer
bears and the
one.
beats.
The bears.
I've got a
Bears.
I don't know what it is. I've got a box
Battlestar
set of
Galactica.
Matt gets
I've
it.
got a box set of Battlestar Galactica in my room. I've never watched it, but I've always wanted to. I just haven't found the time.
It was a really weird plotline. Not gonna lie, they wrapped it up nicely though. That's something. But
It was like-
basically,
An attempt to compete with Star Trek and Star Wars.
yeah, it was a good show. It's just
I
there
mean,
was a lot
there's
of
a lot of different
plot holes
sci-fi
that I didn't
shows
like.
out there that try to kind of put themselves in. Honestly, whenever I think of another sci-fi show, I do have to think of Firefly, of course. I love you, Nathan Fillion.
Obviously. And then Serenity, the movie to cap it off, because
Yeah.
all the fans
He was
revolted
so
after that
mad that it
first
was
season was
canceled. They had to
canceled.
make a movie to top it off.
Why did we have to get stuck in the alternate universe where that show got canceled?
I know, right?
I feel like 2020 never would have happened if it hadn't been for the fact that show. I think we can link
Continued
everything
Firefly.
back to that
None
show
of this
getting
would be
canceled.
happening.
I mean, not.
And then,
2020
like,
hasn't been
Harambe
bad
got
for everything.
No,
And then,
Granted,
like,
2020
that's
has been
what
pretty
started this
bad.
whole
Australia
thing
burned
off.
down.
Like Harambe
Oh,
getting
man.
killed is what started a chain reaction of everything that happening today.
Right.
Harambe.
Okay.
But here's the thing: if Harambe never died, he never would have become internet famous. That's
Oh
just
my
how the,
goodness.
the
Anyway.
world works.
Harambe
alright,
was
we
the
need to get
start
back to our
of the
topic.
memes.
Oh my god, we're talking about Harambe, one of the oldest and deadest memes ever.
You're the one
Shut
who
the
wanted
hell
to
up!
Hey man, you're the one who wanted
We're
the
past
podcast.
this.
You're the one who wanted the
Wanted to
podcast
talk
because
about
of a
random
random off-topic conversation.
I will never forget.
Never forgetty.
I mean,
Man,
hell,
Always
Matt brought up-
spaghetti.
Who was it? Matt
See
or
that
Levi,
boy?
One of them brought up that if we ever got off topic, whoever did it would have to take a shot.
Oh yeah, I said this would be a great drinking podcast.
Oh, this
Because
would
we
be
get off topic,
ev-
because we get off topic every single day. We'd take a shot, and then by the end of it, we'd all be trash, obviously.
Huh, yeah, we're trying to have a
Obviously.
philosophical conversation about what does it mean to be human and AI consciousness and all those weird
Okay.
cyberpunk themes. Oh yeah. We need to talk about Harambe.
Hey man, this is exactly what you
Hey,
wanted.
this ties back into
Harambe
Fallout
was a
4. They
sentence.
had gorillas in Fallout
This is
4.
what I wanted.
Hey, why? How come Harambe wasn't human?
Yeah, what if Harambe was
He's
a
an ape.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you
No,
know?
no, I don't
What
think
the
How do I
he was a
know?
Saiyan.
There's plenty of
What
footage.
defines a human? He had
So-
self-consciousness.
Did he?
Right.
He had a task: entertain people.
And possibly
paid
murder a
minimum wage.
child, but we can't prove that.
He was paid through food.
Okay.
And shelter.
Possibly fired. I don't know.
Okay. Well, speaking about all that,
Harambe
we'll
wasn't
I
head
mean,
back
he was
because,
fired
onto-
in one way.
All right, so we'll head back onto cyberpunk.
Okay.
I mean, okay. That was so much.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
so
really pissed
I-
because. I mean, did they really move it back though?
Yep.
Okay,
They
I've
moved it back
already
November
told you.
16th.
Yeah, they went from September 17th to November 19th.
I mean, I remember
19?
you telling me that they moved it from September to October.
No.
But-
I told you November.
You told me November.
I told you November. I told you
Oh, I
that
was
Watch
thinking-
Dogs Legion comes out in October.
No, I was thinking of the joke you told me that Cyberpunk was delayed on Stadia and then it was delayed everywhere.
Oh
else.
yeah, that was.
That was an
really
unfortunate turn of
funny.
events.
Yeah, but no, they delayed because what probably happened was CDPR was probably play testing the game to find bugs like they're doing entirely right now, and they probably came across the game-breaking bug, and they're like, "Oh crap, we need to set this back by 2 months."
Shit! The
Because they're-
taser nipples aren't working properly.
Yeah, the taser
We
nipples
gotta
aren't
fix it.
Yeah, so
Full circle.
So yeah. So they probably just had to be like, well, we gotta delay it two months back. You know, they're not as staffed because of coronavirus and all. So
Yeah.
The Rona.
Corona. So
Oh no, Sergeant, you just got demonetized. You said the C
Oh.
word.
I know I said the C word.
You can just cut that part
Take a
out.
shot.
And cut that part out. We're talking
Anyway.
about beer. We're getting so drunk
Yeah,
that
we're
they
talking
can't
about
come
the
outside.
alcohol Corona.
Doggone.
Anyway.
You gotta cut all that out
I
now.
actually did have
Past
a
5
Corona
minutes.
earlier. Actually, I had a Corona with lime. Actually,
Matt,
my
aren't
brother
you
went around
underage?
throughout the entire family. Was like, "You want a Corona? You want a Corona?" And we all just were sitting around dinner drinking Corona.
Matt, aren't you
At least you're
underage?
not one of the dumb fuckers throwing parties.
Who gives a crap? I'm on private property.
That's what we could talk about, how the government doesn't allow us to use private property anymore.
This is going online. They don't need to know my age.
They already do.
I'm 117 years old.
That's what he registered to get on, oh, I can't think of
Tinder.
a website now. Yeah, there
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, that's my Tinder age. Anyway, so speaking about consciousness,
He matches
and
with
whatnot
skeletons in the
in
grave.
Cyberpunk. Oh my god, dude! I thought we were continuing. Anyway,
Hey man, you wanted chaotic conversation.
I do want
That's what you're
chaotic,
gonna
and I
do.
love
He also
every bit
wanted
of this.
Will
But
to mute his
we need to
mic
keep
at
this
points,
conversation
but he
going
still has them
somehow,
off.
okay?
It is going.
It is going. But yeah,
So okay. There's one big thing that I keep asking myself. Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk, gorgeous man, beautiful. I want to marry him.
Whoa.
that's
That-
the only one.
No homo.
You,
No homo.
you were just talking about Nathan Fillion, and now you're going after another man.
He can live with me too. I want Nathan Fillion also. Come on.
Jeez.
Stefano, you're coming with.
Yikes.
Oh, I just
Oh
found a
no,
flash drive in my
I don't know
pocket.
if Nathan Fillion's gonna like me.
No, that's probably true. Anyway.
He
sorry.
doesn't. I don't
jokes
know if he's
aside.
in the blondes.
Alright, so jokes aside, so yeah, Keanu Reeves plays Johnny Silverhand, and he is in a chip, which you put in your head, which apparently grants immortality. So he is inside your mind. But my question is,
So he's not even real.
I don't know. I don't know if that's my question. Is he really? Is he not real?
Who are you
Wait.
actually playing as
Keanu
in this
Reeves
game?
isn't real?
You're playing as yourself. You
Was.
play as yourself.
You play as yourself. You create your own character, but you have Keanu
Your
Reeves in your head,
alias.
apparently.
Yeah.
But so you don't have a specific name set.
No, you do. Your alias is V. Other NPCs. and
They call
characters
you
will
V,
call
but
you
you get to
V.
create your own character.
They call you V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Get the fuck up, samurai. We got a city to burn.
Listen, V for Vendetta is a great movie.
It is. I watched it for the first time a couple weeks ago.
I can't
It's one
get
of my
past
favorite
the
ones.
trailer on Netflix.
Okay, the
It's
trailer.
just him using nothing but V words to describe himself.
That is the only time he uses that many V words in the movie.
It's so good.
Very viscous, fluidian. Voluptuous.
I don't want you to use the term viscous ever again.
Yeah.
I don't want to either.
Vicariously.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you were to somehow copy your brain and consciousness, is that still you?
No.
There's the real question right
Keanu
there.
Reeves and Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So here's
I
the
think
question
so.
we should have asked between cybernetic and human. If you copy your consciousness and put it into a robotic body, are you still human?
Okay. No.
Yes.
With that. Okay. Well, no. Well, biologically, no, because you're
Well,
now a robot.
biologically, no.
But with the mind and empathy and personality and whatnot, maybe.
Maybe it's not a
Because-
term of.
Because you
Maybe
can still
we're-
be programmed.
Yeah, but maybe we're talking about the human intellectual type being too much of what it really is. Maybe we are just another subspecies, human, when in reality it's the mind that's the most important, being an intellectual being itself.
We will evolve, and I will have psychic powers.
Well,
I have to be
careful,
though,
here's my
sometimes I
stance
crap.
on that whole idea.
Alright, let's hear Levi's stance here.
Okay, here's my stance on the whole idea of your consciousness is removed from your. Let's say you're dying. Okay, you've got some incurable disease. You got cancer or something. They take your.
Not
They
again.
take your intelligence. Not again.
Oh,
They
no,
take
I
your
did it
intelligence and they download you into a robot. You die, the robot activates, and it has all your memories, all your personality traits, everything about you is in that robot.
I think I would.
Chappie.
Are
Hold
you
on.
human?
Am I in
answer,
control of the robot?
You're dead.
So, I don't exist anymore, but the robot exists with all of my memories and stuff, and is posing to
Yeah,
me.
basically the robot takes on your position. You are now the robot, basically.
You are not human because you are a robot and you have robotic parts and features.
I think
Okay, well-
at that point, my current thought process, at least, with the downloading of your consciousness, that's just the robot being pre-programmed with the thoughts and memories of this previous person.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but well, like, hold on.
I mean, if it walks
Like-
like a duck and talks like a duck.
It's the goose.
Hold on. We're all
goose.
saying it. We're all saying it like the real us is dead. Like our mind still dies, and it's just there's just now a robot that talks like us and thinks like us and acts like us.
Yes.
But what if? What
Right.
if that's not the case? What if that is legitimately you?
See, that's where the line
Like,
is
That's where
debatable.
the line is.
It's
Yeah.
literally
But
you
ultimately,
go
no one
from
could really tell from that.
like you close your eyes in your body, and you open your eyes in the robot. Like that
But
kind of
maybe
transition.
it's not you opening your eyes, it's the robot being pre-programmed with your thoughts and mindset.
But maybe it is you.
Right,
opening
but-
your-
Maybe it is.
Right, but
And
let's
if
that's
that's
say,
the
where the
for the
case, then
sake
it
of
is you.
let's say for the sake of argument, you close your eyes, you open your eyes, you're now in that robot body. The transition was instantaneous, and that's it's literally just transferring your consciousness from your body into this robot. Are you still human? Personally, I would argue no. And here's why.
I would say you're the next step in human evolution, being evolved to the state where you're trying to go beyond the mortal coil. And personally, I feel like we're kind of upping the thought of the label human as being more than it really is. Because in the end, it's just another, it's just us as a species. Being human, it's a way of saying that you are an intellectual with feelings.
Well, you see,
But-
you're getting into the empathy part. That's the real question of the cyberpunk question of what does it mean to be human. It's about empathy.
Right, but here's my personal opinion on the whole thing. Close your eyes in the human form, open your eyes in the robot form. You're now that person, you're now that robot. Are you human? No, and here's why, I think. I personally, and I'm pretty sure most people in this party probably believe this as well, I don't know about Stefano necessarily, but I believe that humans have souls. I think that's what fundamentally makes a human life valuable.
I feel like if
Um,
we're naturally born to be afraid of something and want to self-preserve ourselves, yeah, I feel like we have something worth protecting. It might as well be the soul.
Right, okay. So I think that once the physical body dies, the soul leaves. Wherever it goes, whatever your beliefs are, up, down, left, right, into a different dimension, whatever. Once you're dead, the soul is gone.
reborn.
It doesn't matter what happens to your mind after that. I don't think you are fundamentally human anymore. Because I believe that the soul is what makes you human. So, I don't know what you would be considered now, but I don't think human is the correct
You know what,
word.
Levi? You know what? I'm gonna pull the anime plot on you, and the soul does get transferred.
Well, I mean, how...
You
that's the thing,
awake
how would you
up in
prove
the
that?
waking world.
Where you wake up and
the
you're all of a sudden a
protagonist
robot
survives
who
the
goes to high school.
We've got a crazy hairstyle!
Dude, I got a giant sword on my back. It's so lit.
There's a bunch of pretty girls, but none of them want to
what do
date
we-
me, but they keep flirting with me.
Listen, alright guys, I got a new idea for an anime. Alright, we'll do a cyberpunk anime in the future and everything. And this kid recently died. He becomes a robot. His soul is in that robot too. And he has to go back to high school. And he meets this girl, right? And she's got big tits. But then there's this other girl, and she has taser tits. And that's when you know they have a war with each other.
I'm a fire in my tasers.
And this is where the conversation
Don't make me get the
evolves.
boys out.
We have
we were being
created
so
the
intellectual
next
10 minutes ago.
anime.
Oh my god.
Full circle.
Oh yes.
I'm so proud.
We become intelligent and then we just lose it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I love
Have
it.
you guys seen the trailers for that anime? And I know most of you probably don't watch anime.
Which one?
But
No, I know
I-
weeb. What is it?
I've been reincarnated as a slime.
As a slime?
What?
No, I have not
What?
seen that.
No.
It
no.
looks so dumb.
It sounds dumb.
Basically, classic scenario of guy dying in our world, waking up in a fantasy world. but like normally you get resurrected as like the hero of the story or whatever. Now this guy gets resurrected as just a slime monster, and he's like gotta figure out how to like do stuff, like how to be a hero while he's just a slime, like a blob.
He's the blob.
He is the blob.
He is the
They
blob.
call me Jello.
Oh man.
I feel like that'd
Yeah,
be a good opportunity to reinvent yourself, but you can't really do much as a slime now, can you?
No, well, what if we change slime
Can't even ride a bike.
to snail? A bunker snail.
Hey,
Damn it.
I'm okay with this.
We make an anime off of Levi.
I'm
Levi
just getting
plays
made
all of the
fun of all the
characters.
time. That's all the anime is. It's just
Levi-
me going around like I'm trying my best.
Stop being
So-
so short.
So Levi's going to play all of the characters, and he's going to be this little like nerdy schoolboy with the glasses, like I was back in middle school. And the antagonist is going to be this
A girl
group
with
of
huge
like.
tits. Yes.
Listen. Hold on. Listen. The antagonist is gonna be like these group of super hot cheerleader girls who also play Levi. So Levi just bullies himself the whole time while he's trying to fend off the bullies who were himself.
Everyone has my face.
Everyone has Levi's face.
It's just, you watch the entire anime, and it's all you see on every character is Levi's face.
Hold on. Need I remind you the Levi Velociraptor?
No.
Yes. When I drew Levi's face on a dinosaur.
That's such a good picture.
Please use
Oh.
picture responsible.
That's gonna be the cover art of the anime, but the Velociraptor's gonna have nothing to do with it at all.
Dude, that can be the thumbnail
It's
of
like
the video.
The intro to
goes
the
up.
anime, like the intro song, follows the course of like this Velociraptor like doing epic things, and then it like jump cuts as soon as the intro is done. Just me in high school being like bullied by myself.
There is no Velociraptor. It's just the intro. I totally watched it. Not gonna lie.
Yes.
Why aren't we funding this?
So
It's
that also
2020. People are
does-
putting money into stupid things like face masks
Mm.
and toilet paper. Well, face masks aren't stupid. They decrease the spread, but we're not here to talk about that, are we?
No, let's have some fun tonight. We'll talk about
Yeah,
this in
we're
another
having fun
podcast.
tonight. All right. Listen, I get
Okay,
toilet
so-
paper. I wipe it on my ass. Problem solved.
I only have one-ply toilet paper, thank you very much, because I bought the wrong package.
I'm going to make an anime about
You bought
toilet
the only
paper.
package available.
The toilet
I
paper.
I
the
got mine
spokesman for
from the hardware store. It's 23 grit.
Matt,
Jesus.
oh my god.
It gets every last gray
toilet
in there.
paper.
So Matt, the spokesman for the cover and the commercial of the
I've
toilet
got
paper is going to be
hemorrhoids.
Levi's Velociraptor.
Yes.
God damn it.
Listen. We're gonna make a whole brand about Levi. Listen, I'm gonna make T-shirts with Levi Velociraptor,
The Levi
and
Raptor.
everyone can go around wearing a Levi Velociraptor T-shirt.
I
Are you
hate this.
are you gonna have the bunker from Off the Ranch support you?
Yes. Matt, if Matt Carricker is like, yo, we gotta sell this, and like give props to this guy, I'd be so happy.
Levi, you'd be the most popular.
You gotta
that
become
you
a
would
good
ever been.
YouTube channel before that happens.
Oh man, alive.
That's
But
never
hey,
gonna
for everyone
happen.
that's listening, you know what to do to make it happen.
I've always wanted to be a meme, but not like this.
I've never
Hey,
wanted
you
to be a
think
meme.
anyone
no-
wants to become a meme like that? No, but they become famous nonetheless.
Levi, people don't get to choose why or when they become memes.
True.
They
You think
just
Harambe
appear.
got a choice? No.
Except
he just
for
got shot
PewDiePie.
because a kid fell off the fucking wall.
I've never watched a single PewDiePie video.
Oh man, ancient PewDiePie, I was not a fan of. Like even as a kid, modern PewDiePie, I have to say he's pretty funny sometimes.
He's tolerable now. That's
I
about
mean,
it.
I was kind of, it was kind of the opposite of me, but granted, I was younger than all you guys when I was growing up. I thought his videos were hilarious.
Matt's gonna
and then-
lose.
And then
Matt's
he
gonna
made
lose all
actual
of his
decent content
subscribers
whenever,
because we're roasting PewDiePie.
I mean,
Most of his
yeah.
subscribers are himself,
Well,
with just
not even
alternate
roasting at
accounts.
this
That's
point,
okay.
just giving your opinions.
Yeah, all but
I mean,
three
I
of
really
his
liked
subscribers are
PewDiePie when I
himself.
was,
Please
I really liked
subscribe,
PewDiePie when I was younger, but I don't know.
The other three are alternate versions of myself.
God damn it.
I'm not even gonna
One's a
watch
father
this
and one's a
video, to be
child.
honest. I just listening and
Come
talking
home,
with it's cringe.
I forgive you.
What are you talking
going to
about? It's
post
cringe.
that.
We have conversations like this literally every day. The only
Yeah, but
difference
the
is
start
we're
of
recording it.
this video is just so.
I
cringe.
don't go back to these memories. I don't replay them in my head.
You're going
You think I
to
wanna
Yes,
replay
you
them.
do. You go through this every day, Levi. This is actually the reason Levi doesn't get on
Okay,
sometimes.
we do a podcast.
Just remember-
We have to go.
What happened
Secretly trying
last-
to avoid us.
Listen. We do these podcasts. We talk. I mean, we already talked about our whole cyberpunk deal. You know, the beginning
We
is
could
gonna
go
be
more into
cringy.
detail.
That's
We could
gonna
start talking
happen.
about like the actual game details.
Yeah, we didn't really.
Oh,
well, we
man.
talked more about the philosophy of cyberpunk, is what.
True,
Because
but
I'm
I mean,
still waiting.
Do you guys
it's
wanna
gonna
talk
be the
about the
name of the
game
video. We
details?
might as well talk about it more than 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. But like, yeah, I just want to see how 2077 is going to deal with the cyberpunk question. What does it mean to be human? And you know, the whole Keanu Reeves in your head type of deal, and whatnot. No, I'm excited to see.
The world probably isn't gonna make it to 2077, so we have to live it out in the form of a video game.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting for Yellowstone to blow up.
That'd be
Okay,
kinda cool,
okay,
actually.
okay.
I just hope that it
Do
waits
not
till
veer
after
off into the
October
real
2nd,
world.
Why?
Nope, we're doing it. Yeah, so
because
Yellowstone.
then I can play Star Wars Squadron.
You know
Dude,
what?
I
want to
will
be
say this.
standing in Yellowstone when it blows up.
Might as
Dude,
well.
you're
I
gonna
mean,
be
you're
like
gonna
that guy
die
from
at some
2012.
point if it
Fucking
goes off.
nice.
So
Yeah, might as well be fast.
Why not just get it
Yeah.
over with?
I'm really excited for Cyberpunk. Like, I'm pretty excited. I wouldn't say I'm hyped necessarily. You know, like when a game comes out and like you get overhyped. Yeah, Sergeant's hyped. I'm excited. I'm very eager to see it come out. But I have never been more excited for a Star Wars game since like before EA. Since the announcement trailer for Squadrons, I've been
love
waiting
Fallen Order,
for a
dude.
Starship game.
Fallen Order was
Fallen
really
Order
good.
was
That
fun, dude, and I was excited for it, but I was also apprehensive. And when it came out, I was like, "Oh wow, this is a really good game." In fact, it's one of the only good Star Wars games that EA has launched.
The
in
only
recent
thing
years.
I hated about Fallen Order was that it was just too kid friendly.
I don't know about that. There was a lot
wait,
of.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about like
seemed-
the dismemberment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you wanted.
It
you
didn't
wanted
have the
clone
same
troopers
impact
being
as
cut in
Jedi
half,
Outcast.
didn't you?
Wait,
You
what did you say,
wanted Force
Stefano?
You wanted Force Unleashed stormtroopers, where you get to cut their arms off and stuff.
Oh yeah, full on decapitations, like whatever the heck I feel like doing.
Listen,
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting it to play a lot more
They should have
Outcast.
added in dismemberment, but like
I don't have
do
any
still
ice
kind of
cream.
understand why they took it out, but they should have just left it in.
I mean, in terms of Star Wars movies, I feel like they did a pretty good job. I mean, there wasn't dismemberment in the original movies. I feel like just because
Yes,
one
there
game had
was.
it in. No, there
Yeah,
wasn't.
Luke got his
hand
hand
got
chopped
cut off.
Okay,
Oh,
Luke had his
fucking
hand
right.
chopped off. The alien in the cantina had his entire arm cut off by Obi-Wan.
let's see.
You're
Who
right.
else got?
no dismemberment. First movie.
Don't listen to me. I'm not a real fan.
There's no dismemberment
Heck,
in the
even
Star
the
Wars
Clone
series.
Wars. Even the Clone Wars had dismemberment. The last season of the Clone Wars was brutal in terms
Yeah.
of dismemberment.
There's
Yeah.
a scene in I can't remember which season it was, but there's a scene where the clones are like going through a prison trying to break out a Jedi general, and at one scene the door closes and
It
you
cuts
see
one
a
in
clone
half.
trooper like halfway through the door, and you hear the scream, but you don't actually see it happen. But it's like you hear the scream as he's ripped in half by the door.
Oh, fuck, I remember that.
And
Wait,
there's
Oh my
one.
God,
why do they
I
really
remember
wear that
that.
armor? I mean, it
remember
doesn't
that
help
fucking
against
episode. That was
crushing
when they invaded
blasters
the
or anything.
Citadel.
Yes,
fuck?
it was the Citadel. And when Ahsoka was captured by the Mandalorians and R2 like dispersed the smoke and gave the lightsabers to her,
Hey,
you
spoilers,
see her.
spoilers.
It's been out for a long time. You should have watched it by now. You see her cut.
No, 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 no.
Well,
Give him a chance, give him a
Mandalorian
chance, give him a
heads
chance.
off.
No, Star Wars
no,
is
no,
sacred.
no.
Stop this.
Oh,
Yeah,
criminal
We were
stuff.
fine with
You
the
will not say any spoilers.
Netflix-made movie, but
Spoilers, man, come on.
Star Wars is sacred.
Star Wars is secret, especially last season of Clone Wars. Do not spoil that for
Yes.
anyone.
I don't think it was in last season, was it?
No, this was
Yes,
like
it was.
season. This was season 5, I believe.
Yeah, Ahsoka's
Or no,
had
no, no,
interactions
this
with
was
the
season
Mandalorians
3.
before,
This was season
and
3.
R2
when
wasn't
she-
with her on Mandalore.
It wasn't on Mandalore. It was a moon of Mandalore. Like,
Oh, when
Oh.
they first meet Death Watch.
yeah, when they first meet Death Watch,
Oh,
and she cuts
okay.
like 8 Death Watch troopers.
Okay,
off.
it's fine
have
if it's not the last
strayed.
2 seasons. Okay, if it's
We
not
have
the last 2 seasons, then it's
strayed
fine.
from
That show has been out for
Cyberpunk.
so goddamn long. Besides the last 2 seasons.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this isn't really a spoiler. It's just an Easter egg type thing. But in the last season, Levi, have you watched it yet?
I think everyone here except for Stefano has seen it.
Okay,
I
so
No, I've seen it.
so
I haven't
the,
seen it.
Oh, okay, wait, hold on.
okay, well it's not
Well-
too big. It's not even a spoiler. But in the
Okay.
hallway scene, when one of the clones is killed, you can hear another clone shouting over the radio, like saying, "Ridge is down, Ridge is down." That clone trooper Ridge was in the Star Wars Clone Wars movie back in like 2008.
Oh, Attack of the Clones?
No. The animated pizza crap
Oh, the
movie.
animated one.
Oh.
Yeah. He survived all the way up until the very last.
That
Episode, pretty
sucks
much.
for him.
Wait.
Oh, man.
Where was
So
he?
in the movie, he's not a main clone. Like he's in a
Well,
gunship.
obviously not.
He's in a gunship talking to I don't know, someone over the comlink, and someone says, "Ridge, your comlink is messing up. Get it fixed or something like that."
Oh, yeah.
But he survived from that stupid movie all the way up until the second to last episode, or no, the very last episode. And I mean, dang, just thinking about that, all the crap he went through just to get a stupid death like that. Like, come on.
Hey man,
Yeah.
that happens in war.
That's war, man. That sucks.
I mean, that's war, man. People have died
Yeah.
from falling into holes with sharpened sticks at the bottom. That's not a
A
happy way to
terrorist-
go.
Hey, we don't talk
Terrorists
about
have
Vietnam,
died
okay?
because
Like,
they accidentally
talk
set
about
the
that.
timer on their
We,
screen.
That
we
never
don't
happened.
talk about
Wrong
rising.
What are you
time.
talking about? What?
Vietnam
Vietnam,
never
I hear it's a
happened.
great place to visit.
Yeah, especially back
A
in the
lot
60s.
of rice. A lot of rice.
Oh, you're
Welcome to the rice fields.
Welcome.
Okay.
I give you
But
rice.
no, when it comes
okay.
to the dismemberment in the last season, like you see clones get decapitated, Mandalorians get crushed, decapitated. A clone gets his arm chopped off. Like it's just insane compared to the other seasons.
Well, I was talking about the original movies, and in the original movies, there's the canteen bar, and then Luke getting his hand chopped off, and then Anakin getting his hand chopped off, like Lord Vader. In the
Vader
last
gets his
movie.
arm blown off, but it's robotical, so I don't know if you want to count it.
It's robotical, so who gives a
George
shit?
Lucas has like a fetish for cutting people's arms off.
I think
My
George
wife
Lucas
did
has like a collection of hands in his room
Oh my
for
god!
like all
just
the prop
imagine.
hands that they cut off.
Cause
Just to fucking imagine. You would
'Cause-
totally do that.
it was seriously like this. So
is good.
A New Hope, and gets his arm cut off. Empire Strikes Back, Luke gets his hand cut off. Return of the Jedi, Vader gets his hand cut off. Phantom Menace, did someone get their arm cut off in the Phantom Menace?
Darth Maul gets cut in half.
Darth Maul gets cut in half.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
talking
but
about
did
the
somebody?
original trilogy.
I know, but like, did
Oh, in the
someone get their
original
arm cut
trilogy
off in the Phantom
specifically?
Menace?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Phantom Menace, no, I don't think
Well, anyways,
so.
Attack of the Clones. Anakin gets his arm cut off. Revenge of the Sith. Anakin gets his other arm cut off and loses both his legs in the Clone Wars. In the Clone Wars, at least 7 people a season get their arm cut off in one way or another.
Well, as far as
Millions
like
of
hands
people
getting
lose
cut
their
off in
limbs in
lightsaber
lightsaber
duels
accidents all the
goes-
time.
Anakin, I
that
have
was
the high
actually a-
ground. I'll
Yeah,
cut off your
as
legs.
far as dismemberment goes in lightsaber duels, that's actually a very common tactic that Jedi and, well, specifically Jedi are trained to do.
Oh wait,
because they
Dooku
wanna
got his hands
disarm
cut
their
off as well.
opponents. Yeah, true.
Dooku got his
But-
hands
Who
cut
got
off.
decapitated?
I know, but he got his
Yeah,
hands
yeah.
cut off. We're talking
You got
about
a
people
lot
who
of
got
things.
their
Oh yeah,
hands
by
and
the
arms
way,
cut off.
Dooku got his hands cut off. Dude, he was straight up decapitated. You're focusing on his hands?
Yeah, hands decapitation.
We're keeping
Those hands would
tally.
look pretty bad to me.
We're keeping tally of the people who have lost hands and arms, not heads, not cut in half, not legs.
I was hungry for hands.
Carl!
George Lucas is just
Carl, where
like
is
eating
hands
fingers
gone?
and stuff. Like that's what he's doing. Carl, that
God.
George, what are we gonna do for
Carl?
this scene? Does the character have hands?
I never put in front of me how many fucking body parts got cut off in Star Wars. It's non-stop. There's so many.
Did you know Captain Rex has a kill count of over like 600,000?
Yeah,
Captain
but they're all
Rex?
droids, so I don't
They're
know.
all
Yeah,
droids.
those are like
But
droids.
still, like he's got a kill count of over 600,000. Like not counting the new season.
Did you
And
see
Hitler has a
Captain Rex
has a
in the
kill count
original-
of 6
You
million.
wanna know something funny?
Doggone it, Sergeant!
While we're on
Wait,
the topic
Sergeant, what'd you say?
While we're on the...
Sergeant,
going
what'd you
on?
say?
Sergeant,
Sergeant.
Rex has a kill count of like 16,000 or whatever, and
600,000.
and Hitler had a kill count of 6 million.
God
Demonetized.
oh my
We're
god.
not monetized in the first place. We're fine.
Okay, so Stefano,
He's got 25
what were you
subscribers.
saying?
Well, I don't know if it matters after what
Something
Matt
interesting
fucking
about-
said. Whatever.
Go ahead and say it.
You good,
Yeah,
Matt?
go for it.
You good?
Oh, I'm good.
Put your
Oh.
Nazi flag away. Okay. Something interesting about Captain Rex is in Return of the Jedi, there's actually a rebel soldier who looks a lot like Captain Rex did in Star Wars Rebels. And then I know a lot of you probably haven't seen it because I mean it's Disney directed Star Wars. It's pretty awful.
Yeah, I'll get into my opinions on Rebels in just a minute, but continue.
But anyways, Captain Rex, like he has like this big poofy white beard because, you know, he's getting old and shit. There's a rebel soldier on the moon of Endor who looks exactly like Rex does.
It's because
Exactly.
it is Rex.
Yeah.
Because it is Rex.
Well,
but,
well, like,
I mean,
it was such a coincidence, and then they were like, "Oh, this was such a coincidence." You know what? Screw it. That's Rex. And then people were like, "Okay."
You want to know the worst part about the Clone Wars?
It ended.
Episode 2.
it ended. Yeah.
Sad. No, I mean like from like an in-galaxy perspective, is the
Episode
fact
2.
that all of those clones are only like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they had to be seen in
There's
Europe and
a
Asia.
book.
It's called child labor, Levi.
They're actually child soldiers. Oh my god.
Oh, doggone it, that was good.
They're from the Congo.
No, there's a book about the Star Wars Commandos that I was reading. It's the first book in the series, and it covers Omega Squad. And there's a Jedi involved in the book, and she's on this forest moon, and the clone commandos get deployed there. Omega Squad gets deployed. She runs into one of them, Darman, the clone trooper.
Isn't
And-
this the one she falls in love with?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Spoilers.
one of the first things she realizes as she's talking to him, because she, as a Jedi, can sense like the individual mind thoughts of all the clones, so like she can tell every single clone apart, which is something very few people do unless you were a Jedi or a clone. And she like comes to realize this very quickly that he's basically like a really mature child in a grown man's body. like it actually shakes her really hard because she's like, you're like 12 years old, and you're already like, you look just as I am. Like it's nuts.
So this is some softcore pedophilia going on right now?
Yes.
Okay, a side note on a completely unrelated topic. I am 20
thank
years
you.
old, and I literally just pulled a gray hair out of my head. I'm going to die within 5 years.
Wow.
Nicely done.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna die.
You're
in
gonna
5
die
years
before
now.
me.
My tennis
Meanwhile,
coach
me
in,
being 20
high
years
school.
old and I got baby face.
Yeah, my tennis coach in high school started going bald in his freshman year of high school, so
Sheesh, that's rough, buddy.
Fuck.
he was fully
Dang.
bald at like when I saw him, he was fully bald. He
Maybe
was
it's
in
a
his
good
20s.
thing I got baby face. I'm gonna be young and beautiful forever.
Levi, the next
I don't know
time
about
it's-
beautiful,
Yay,
but
Stefano.
You're gonna be like the next Paul Rudd.
Yes. As far as I'm
I forget
concerned,
who Paul
that's
Rudd is.
America's ass.
He's Ant-Man. He's like 60 or something. He looks like he's 28.
Really? No.
Dude,
Yeah,
fuck
is
yeah.
he
What?
60?
Hold up.
Is he?
I'm
He's either
looking it up.
60 or he's 50.
I think he's 50.
Is he 50? Well, he's getting
I think
close to
so.
60.
I
He's
don't
like
mean
50
to gloat,
something.
but I'm the best
Let's see,
looking
he's
in my entire
51
family.
years
Okay.
Oh, is he? Okay. He's 51 years old. So yeah, but still, like he looks like he's 27.
My dad just
Yeah.
turned 50 this year.
Again,
My dad's
as far as
going
I'm
to turn
concerned,
50 this
that's
year.
America's ass.
I don't care.
He's got a lot of energy. At least him and his character does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, him in interviews too. He still seems to have a lot of energy. Okay, hold up. I just realized we need to recap. We went from talking to about Cyberpunk to
To Harambe.
stinking
Taser
Harambe.
Yeah, taser tits.
Taser tits.
Harambe,
Dude, imagine Harambe with taser tits.
Star
Dude, oh my God.
Wars, 6
well, we
million.
went from
We talked about Watch
that
Dogs.
to
we
all the
talked
games
about
coming out. We talked
Squadrons.
about Valhalla. We talked about Squadrons released, and from there we talked about Star Wars
Legions.
Fallen Order
Ooh.
to stinking.
a bunch of random
Let's
stuff.
Let's go into the gameplay of Cyberpunk. So you're gonna be
We
able
don't
to
know about the
customize
gameplay.
No,
Well,
we know the
we
gameplay.
know about the
There's
mechanics.
gameplay trailers out. There's whole demos. of
You can't. You
gameplay.
Yeah,
can't.
I've seen
You can't
it.
watch gameplay trailers though and be like, oh, that's gameplay. Until you actually play the game, you don't know what it's gonna
They
be like.
legitimately have a
They go over the
40-minute
fucking details
gameplay
of it.
demo that you can watch.
Matt, just because you haven't watched it doesn't mean they don't do it.
No,
See,
I
even
understand
though,
what he's
like-
saying. I understand what he's
Like
saying.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
like with people playing it and everything, you can't get a feel for it. Like every time I
Yeah,
watch
a
somebody play
feel
a
for
game
even-
and then I'll go play the game, it's not the same.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
You can watch
Yeah, right.
it all you want, but you can't feel it. Like,
Right, but you can get an idea of how the
Yeah.
game flows and how the game looks
Yeah,
and,
and-
like sort of generally how interactions will go
and
based
we've
on
already
gameplay
have-
footage.
Yeah.
But
we
yeah,
already
until you
have,
actually sit down and play
um,
the game, you have no idea how well it's going to handle.
Yeah. So we already have game journalists who got their hands on it, and they all pretty much said that the combat, definitely the gunplay, is solid. Feels good, and the driving also feels good too. I think one journalist said that the melee wasn't that great, and that it needed more work, which might be something that they're doing. But overall, they've been saying that the gameplay is fantastic. But for me, what I'm really excited to do is all I want to do is go through Night City and just explore it, and just see all of the NPCs moving throughout it and whatnot. To me, that's incredible.
I'm gonna go to the robot lady strip club and get a
Well,
topless
wait,
dance.
Levi,
Yo,
you're
are
gonna
you
go to a
human?
strip
Because
club?
I really
And when
would.
I
Dude,
when I say
Levi, that's a
topless,
loaded
I
gun
mean, like,
pointed
her
at you.
entire
Remember, the
torso
taser tip.
removed.
The taser tip.
Levi
No,
goes up
I'm
to the
not doing
bar. He just goes up to the counter.
Levi likes them.
I'll take one with taser tits, please.
Levi likes them dangerous.
I want one of the
I like
Japanese
him.
ones.
I like him.
I want to get a topless dance, and by topless I mean like I want her torso to be gone.
I just want the legs, please.
If I could get like a
Oh,
floating
right.
head, some arms, and some legs, that'd be great.
Levi just wants a hologram.
No, honestly, what I'm gonna do,
You
the
can't touch
first
it,
thing
though.
I'm gonna do when I get that game, is I'm gonna take my arm, turn it into a
And cut it
cybernetic
off?
arm, and put a gun inside of it. And I'm gonna call myself Leroy Handgun.
You're literally just making your 2020
You know-
character.
Didn't the villain in Black Panther, the sub-villain in Black Panther, have a gun in his arm?
Yes, he had this weird.
Yeah!
It used to be a mining tool, and then he refitted it to be like a pulse cannon. And then he died super early in, and a lot of people hated it.
Sergeant,
people-
cut out the part of me talking about the topless dancer.
And you made yourself look so clean for the podcast listeners.
Listen,
You
none
can't
of us
just
are
cut out bits you
none of
want.
us are coming out of this podcast clean. I was talking about 6
I don't know,
million
I'm-
people
I'm
dying
pretty
earlier.
clean
Okay,
myself,
none of
I
us are
gotta
coming out
say.
of this clean.
Yeah, I use soap in the shower.
Levi drops his soap.
You could say
I poop
too
in the
much.
shower.
Whoa! Hold up. Let's take a retract to that.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I mean,
Will, you degenerate? Why do you
do you
poop
just
in the
do it in
shower?
the shower, or do you have like a tube that
Do
goes
you
to the
waffle
toilet?
stop it? What the fuck?
So it's like it's a reverse catheter for your butt.
Wait, a reverse catheter, so you push it back in?
You take,
Yes.
you take shit
So, like,
from
the
the bag and
catheter's
put it
holding
back
the
in. That way
The
there's
catheter's
no...
holding the poop from your before shower crap, and then you just shove it back in your butt as you're taking the
A
shower.
reverse catheter doesn't work because it just goes
I think.
I have my medical degree, so yes.
You have a medical degree in what?
have a medical
How to
degree.
shove
I
poop back
do.
in your butt?
You
have a
how
medical
you can
degree in
find it in the
asses?
shower?
Are you a gastroenterologist?
Yes.
Oh,
I know
God.
my
Hey,
shit.
will you look at my Crohn's then, please?
You could say he knows his shit.
Matt, you're in like stage 4 Crohn's disease. You don't have much longer.
It doesn't have stages!
He's stage 27.
I'm stage 13 with a gun.
He's got incurable Crohn's.
Stage 17, stage 18 has a gun.
What stage are you at when your poop is literal fire?
That's
it's
just the
too
stage that you gotta give up, or just bend over and
Yeah.
be like a dragon.
We don't have a
So,
name for that
I
stage.
become a
It just
superhero,
happens.
though, obviously.
Oh my god.
You're just going to the
Oh.
doctor's office. Hey, doctor, yeah, my Crohn's is acting up real weird. Fire's coming out my butt. Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. It's okay.
Do you guys
That's a
know who
classic
John
stage
Mulaney
47.
is?
Do I know what is?
John Mulaney, he's a comedian.
John Lennon.
Yeah, I know John Mulaney.
Yeah,
Can't
well,
say
he
I
has
do.
a bit. He has a bit where he is talking about a doctor visit where he was trying to get stress medication because he was really stressed, and his friend told him like, if you just go to the doctor visit and like tell him, oh yeah, by the way, doctor, sometimes I get nervous when I have to go on a flight or whatever, and the doctor prescribed to him like the stress medication, and he took
Was it a
and
hand
it was
job?
like great. What?
Never mind, that was a bad sex joke. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyways, so John is like, okay, I'll go there. I'll just make an appointment. I'll go there and I'll tell him, hey, I get nervous on planes, and then that'll he'll give me that medication. And
Pretty
he had to
flat
he had to fill out a form for like reason for your visit. And I don't know why he didn't just put checkup. I feel like he could have just done this, but instead he writes down frequent urination because he felt like that was like the safest thing to put down for whatever reason. So he gets in there, and the doctor's like, "Oh, I see you're here for frequent urination. How many times a day do you go?" And he's like, "Oh, like 15 times a day." And the doctor's
Wow.
like, "Really? 15 times a day?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, there might be something wrong with your colon, so I'm gonna need to have you bend over and remove your pants." And so John is like, describes how he is like, okay. And so now he's bent over the table, pants around his ankles, stinking his butt exposed to the doctor. Doctor puts on a glove,
Oh no.
reaches in
Did
to
the
like
doctor
check
not
his
tell him what he was
colon.
about to do?
And so he's got a doctor probing his butt, and then he like makes a really weird fart noise or whatever. and he lets out this unexpected moan, and he's just like, ah!
Wait. Who's making the moan? Him or the doctor?
John. And so the doctor removes his tool or his hand or whatever. And John describes it like, if you've never had anything shoved up your butt, it's like the sensation you get when you poop. So he thought he was pooping on the doctor's hand. And so he said, I'm sorry! Poor doctor! He's sitting there, like, he has this guy, like, fart on him, moan, and then say, I'm sorry! Like, 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
And then he forgot to tell him that he gets nervous on airplanes.
Gets nervous with doctor checkups now, let me tell you.
Oh my god.
You go into the doctor's office to get your prostate exam, and the doctor walks in and sees someone else with their finger up your butt. What do you do?
Honey,
Listen,
it's not what it looks
listen,
like.
I know
kicked that
the
jerk back in the
exact pain of
face.
it. I don't want to go there, please. I really don't want to go back there.
Okay.
doctor
So
not
you're
nice
saying
Matt's
that
frequent weekly checkups.
No. It only happened once. And I'm glad it only happened once. I don't want to talk about it. I have
Hey, man.
PTSD.
She's been
I
traumatized.
can talk about
I'm
something that gave
traumatized.
me PTSD.
All I can
You want
say...
to know what happened to me
listen,
on the move
listen,
that
listen.
also has to do with body
Listen.
parts?
All I'm going to say is at least it was a woman.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Okay, Stefano, traumatic event have you dealt with when you were moving?
Okay, it's a little disgusting, but I mean, it happened. It's not so much of a story, just a thing that happened. Anyways,
Show us on this chart where they touched you.
no. It has nothing to do with the ass. It has to do with us in the front, like your forward-facing tail. That's what it has to do with.
Oh.
Now listen.
Here we go
it's Not
again.
mine. It's
You
not
and your
mine
brother
in the
moving,
story.
I know it
just-
gets weird.
Just fucking listen. So.
Step brother.
So, just listen. So, earlier this week, I went over to my mother's to pick up my brother and a bunch of his stuff because he's moving over. And I have to do this because he has my bed. So, I head over, we start packing up shit, and I'm drinking a lot of caffeine just to stay awake because I have been working 5 hours prior, and I'm going to drive another 4 hours to there, so I'm drinking a lot. And it's caffeine, so it takes a while to go through your body. And we do that, we get maybe 2 hours into our trip, and I tell my brother, I gotta pee, and we also gotta refill on gas, so I go ahead and do that. And we're nearing this place called Webster City. And Webster City, very creepy, very ghetto, very nasty place. I find a Casey's like halfway through the town. We're off the highway by maybe 5 miles. And I go in, do my business. The gas is refilling, and my brother's inside with the safety lock on because my brother's an idiot. I get out of the bathroom, and this guy with a black face mask and sunglasses walks in. And, I mean, I'm looking back because I didn't want to make sure I don't forget anything. Because, I don't know, my wallet might have fallen out. And I just, before the door closes, I just see him unzip his pants and start spraying everywhere. He's literally tagging everywhere. It was like he was
He's
marking
marking
his territory. Yeah.
Oh my word! It wasn't a man, it was a dog in disguise.
He literally sprayed everywhere, on the walls, in the sink, and on the ceiling, in like less than the 2 seconds that the door was open. This dude had done this before, definitely.
I know the
I'm more
exact,
tactical about
I know
it.
the exact
First,
projection.
I go to the
how to
sink.
get on the ceiling.
Then I'm gonna go to the wall. From there, I rise up to the ceiling. I've got this place mapped out.
And I left before the gas tank was full. But we got there nonetheless. So yeah.
Oh,
What happened to me
sheesh.
on the way here?
Oh my god. Alright, okay. Oh, that's, oh my god.
That's
Anyway,
a good story right there.
so, we're gonna end it here for the night, boys.
We're gonna end on that.
This was the most disorganized mess I've ever been a part of.
That's the
We're
whole
gonna
point
end
of the
on that.
podcast. It's idle in chat. So, for
Definitely hope it gets better the more if we
yes,
do it more.
well, yeah, we're gonna do it more often, and over time we'll get better, and it's just, it will forever remain weird.
Hopefully there's less talk about female nipples.
And
Taser
And
reverse-
titties.
human animals
Listen,
train
I
their
didn't-
territory
Yes,
like
I didn't-
security
listen,
artists with their
I didn't
wiener.
say that,
Butthole
that
catheters.
taser titties were female. You know, they could be male too. You know, maybe.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know.
Then they'd be called taser
Male
packs.
nipple tasers.
Yeah,
Taser
Uh,
pecs.
Taser
Not gonna lie,
bombs.
if the option's in there, I might as well take it.
All right. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, everyone.
Should we
and-
plug our stuff?
What?
Should we plug
I don't
our
have a
stuff?
Twitter, and I'm not going to tell
No,
them my
no,
Facebook.
don't plug your stuff. All right. What? Stop. All right. Thank you for tuning in.
anything.
Thank
You
you
yell
for
for no
watching.
reason.
Good night, everybody.
Plug the reverse.